Old school thought back in the day, as coaches are like, I know in my training you got to earn your way up. I think it's a different world. I think it's important that they hang with the veteran guys, see what they're doing, how they're preparing before practice, and then watching their skill out there, and then catch, actually, it's funny. I saw PD talking to him after our regroup drill. Hey, go here, go there. I think that's invaluable. But I will switch around. I'm not saying he's going to get pulled off, but I think I got to put some other guys in other positions. I think it's important for these 5 days to get other guys acclimated.
What did you see out of that pairing from DeBrusque and Pedersen?
Yeah, well, Jake's got that speed, right? And he has a couple of plays where he had the puck and he put it in the net. You could tell, he's a goal scorer. He's got some speed. And it's going to really help Petey have that type of player.
You're a guy who saw a lot of different teams in this league.
Yeah.
What was it like for you as a player to integrate into a new group?
Yeah, well, I think it's important. I know just from past experience, some teams you get traded or it really, and if you ask the guys that left last year, terrific guys, Lindy and Z and those guys, they were welcome right in right away. So I credit the guys that have been here, the leadership group. I think I talked to Mills the other day. He said the new guys we got are great. So I've been on other teams where it takes you a while. Maybe it's not as close, but this team has really created whoever comes in here, hey, you're welcome, and they're hanging together. So I credit those guys for that, create that environment.
You said don't read into
Yeah.
too much on it.
Yeah.
We can't help ourselves.
I know. I don't blame them.
But when you put Quinn and Phillips in different groups entirely, like I know that there is a line of thinking in the organization about seeing if they could play a part.
Yeah.
Like, is that part of this? Like, are you starting auditions here in camp, or?
Not the first day. It's the first 5. It's more of Phil's. I thought Phil was really good out there. You got a young Pedersen there out with him, so I think I like seeing that. Putting guys with different guys. I mean, we know Huggy and Phil are really good together. So it's just the first day. I just want to see a couple of guys with some of our veterans.
You had Danton Heinen with Brock and
Yeah.
JT. What do you think the ceiling is for him? What do you think you have in him as a player?
Yeah, high hockey IQ, good skater. I thought they were really good off the rush. Mills is such a power guy, so he needs people around him a lot, and obviously Brock's really good at finding those type of areas. So, you can't have everything you want on a line, but I wanted to put them together, see it right away, and then I wanted Petey with, like I said, Leonard Mackey to kind of show him the ropes. So, method of my madness. Garza can play anywhere. Where he can play. He meshes with everybody. So, that's kind of the method of my madness.
Back to the goaltending, there's some uncertainty with Demko. Obviously, you're not quite sure when he's going to come back, and that is the. If you have to start the season without him, like how comfortable are you with the group that you got?
Well, I'll tell you right, the way this team defends and the way we play with the puck, I'm comfortable. We have a certain way we want to play and hopefully take pressure off a goalie, whether it's Demers, Seelofs, or whoever. I think that's important. So, it's honestly right now, we don't look at target dates. It's every day. Demers having good days, that's really good for us. He's actually had 2 weeks of really good days. That's what we look at.
Will you scrimmage before Sunday's formal scrimmage? Like, will there be any game situations here?
No, we'll have a similar practice tomorrow, and then day 3 we'll do specialty teams. Day 4 will be special teams early, and then we'll have the scrimmage. No, I'm not a big scrimmage, like some coaches scrimmage 2-3. I rather do this stuff that we did today. Probably more. We'll do more 5-on-5 tomorrow, but we're trying to staircase this thing.
And will you mix and match guys between groups? Like, will we see different groups tomorrow, or do you stay in these groups? Maybe see different looks?
Well, I'll talk to RJ and Patrick and those guys and see, hey, can we maybe switch a guy in the C group? And I think we'll do that. But I'm not going to just trade a bunch of guys right now. I'll let Jim and Patrick trade guys.
How different is it for Yogi at this camp compared to last year's camp? I know that you kind of worked his way through last year.
Terrific. Even footy. We spent a lot of time with the drills, collaborative, but Yogi takes a lion's of the share. He's terrific. He's done a hell of a job. I thought the drills were great, and I thought everybody, the coaches were on point. I'm a big stickler when it comes to that, and I thought it was run really well. And I give Yogi a lot of credit for that. He's come a long way, and he deserves to be where he is.
You talked about special teams later in the week. Is that something you said power play, something he's going to be having a hand in?
Yeah, I think from some buddies that coach other teams, they're waiting a week or 10 days. I don't mind if there's 55 guys in camp and you're doing power play. It's okay. Maybe you see some other guys see what they can do, but I think it's important that we get to it early. It's not to me about plays; it's mindset. It's chasing down pucks. It's attacking. It's not getting frustrated if the power play. I'm going to watch that if it's especially early. If it's not, I don't want to see frustration. That's a mindset. And this power play, the special teams in any team, it's all mindset, and then you go from there.
Does that apply to the general effort to increase your aggressiveness on the rush, where you can do so much with X's and O's, but fundamentally it's about the mindset of the team?
Yeah, I think so. I think so in any category. I look at that stuff. If there's a mistake or something there's a bad pass, I want to watch the reaction of a guy. Does he chasing the puck down? Is he finishing the play? Is he stopping? Is he putting his hands in the? That's the stuff. I don't think you can wait. You have to address it early, and that's what I look for. I'll be honest, I didn't see it today, because I really watch for that stuff. So body language and mindset's big for me, especially early in camp.
Back to Yogi and designing the group drills. Did he design the hidden bag skate battle drill at the end of your two sessions? I said to Yogi, I need a little bit of a skate, so he came up with that drill. But actually, the guys, they love it, but they hate it. So I got a lot of reaction that they love it, but they hate it. But it was a good drill.
There's so many other players talking about their higher expectations for this season.
Yeah.
We've heard you talk about a little bit in the summer, but them coming out and saying it, how do you like hearing that from your players about them raising their own expectations?
Well, it's huge, right? Because it's like, last year's expectations are probably different from, other people. We have we've created, we talked about our pillars and staples and stuff, and, how do we get to the next plateau? That's really what this season's about. So higher expectations. It's going to be hard. We talked about that. How do you create higher expectations? You got to be a better practice player. You have to be even more accountable. You got to be a good teammate. That's the way you get to the next plateau. There's a reason why some teams get there every year, or are knocking on the door, because they've created that. And I give the credit to the players last year. They created. Now can we get the next step? Things got to go your way. Got to be healthy. Guys have to have a good year. I get all that stuff, but you still got to do this stuff if you want to get to that level.
Rick, did you spend some time with the New York Jets in the summer?
Yeah.
How did that come about, and sort of what were your takeaways, and how do you apply anything to hockey?
Well, when I was in Pittsburgh, I went to the Steeler camp, and Mike Tomlin was great, great guy. He gave us full access, so I sat in meetings. Just the way they deal with things. Football's a little different. Obviously, it's D-backs are over here. It's a lot of stations. It's hard in hockey. If you had 2 or 3 pads, you could probably do it, but it's harder in hockey. But and then my buddy's best friends with. I know Joe Douglas, the GM, and Sala, the coach. Know him a little bit from my buddy. So spent the day spent with the coach for about a good 45 minutes. Talking about mindset, talked to the GM. He showed us how they scout, things like that. I thought it's invaluable. I love that stuff. I wish I could do it a lot more, but yeah, spent the day.
What about the Hockey Canada or the Canadian meetings? Has preparing for the meetings, similar education?
with DeBoer and those guys.
Staff,
yeah, I thought that was invaluable. To hang with Bruce Cassidy, DeBoer, John Cooper. Being able in that thing, it was 3 days was awesome. It's funny because nobody was scared to share their ideas because we're in the same division as Butch and Pete's and our things, but they were those guys are veteran guys. They've been there before and they were great. So we. Now we got to come to agreement how we're going to play, what system and stuff like that. But Coop's got a handle on it. I mean, it's really helps me out. It was a great summit for me.
Coach, it came out this morning. One of your former teammates, Yager, is finally retiring. What do you
sure about that?
What goes through your mind when you hear? I think he's 57 now and still playing over in Czechia.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, probably one of the best one-on-one players. Like we have that drill, puck protection, one-on-one. he's probably top 3 all time. Like if you put a puck in the corner and you played a one-on-one drill, that's what he was the best at. He was incredible. Obviously, the other parts of the game were great. Passion for the game. Just the whole. He's a kid. He's a 57-year-old kid. Like he loves the game of hockey. So he's not. Is he 57? 52. I was going to say, geez, I'm way older than him. So, but he just for me, the passion of the game is something that and I hope I would love for him to come back here and somehow get back in the game as a teacher or a coach or somebody like that.
Well, you guys do have a pretty experienced group. Would that be how do you get somebody like a Yager or somebody else who has all that experience to come over to North America and become a coach?
Well, you got a former teammate. Hopefully I was good to him as a teammate if I ever asked him. But I don't know. Like it's, there's a lot of former guys that you'd love to pick their brains and even hire them and stuff like that. Who knows down the road? Maybe Yager would be. He'd be definitely a guy that if he's interested, I'd be knocking on his door. I'll tell you that.
The 3 a.m. practice.
That might be a lot. That might be a lot. Yeah, he wants a key to. He'll want a key to Rogers. He'll want the ice at 4 a.m. So yeah, but it might have to be a little different though. Yeah.
With just one question with Joshua's absence.
Yeah.
In addition to the Bud Colson trade, right? Does that commonality, what you're going to be missing in the lineup in terms of size, at least short term, impact the opportunity that a PTO guy like Sammy Blais has here?
Well, yeah. I mean, Sammy played. He played in Blues when they were. They won the cup and stuff. Like he's got some pedigree there. So I want to see if he can step up, supply that stuff that Dak does. But Dak's not going to be out that long. I don't know. I don't know the target date. Don't get me wrong, but it's he's going to be back soon. And we got some big deals. I think we're not a small team, so we'll other guys can put up. They can help out on that part of the department. Yeah.
JT Miller's an asshole.
Generational talent.
Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.